This is called The Princess of Hope Hill, and Hope Hill is the farm in which we live on, and we live in Ridge Spring Ward, South Carolina. Does anybody know where that is? Ridge Spring, we're about 2 hours from here. Population 900, you think, Janet? 900? Towards Aiken, anybody know where Aiken is? We're kind of near there. And I liked this illustration because Ginkle included a lot of our animals. I liked, how do you describe you used pen and ink and watercolor wash?
It is a watercolor wash. This is the real dress.
Oh yeah, I meant to stop and say that. I get so involved. This is the real dress. This was Ginkle's prom dress that she went to the prom with Al. Well, Katie Dare replied in her signature Southern drawl, Mama, you must know somewhere I can get a dress. I mean, what kind of princess will I be if I have no dress? Katie Dare, I am shocked. I have raised you better than that. This is the 21st century. Princesses can wear pants. I mean, what kind of woman's liberator are you? And this actually is our laundry room, for real. This is Katie Dare sitting on the steps of the laundry room. And I guess it's supposed to be a liking of me. Make me thin. Make me thin and young. And this is one of my favorite pictures because this is downtown Ridge Spring, which is very, very small. And it has all the little shops. Just remember, said her daddy, grinning, if you are the Princess of Hope Hill, that makes me the king. The end. And Ginkle had done this picture of the pipe, and that was another picture that we were going to have to eliminate, and we didn't know where to put. So at the very end, we decided to put the picture of the pipe for our end page.
You gonna get crayons? Would you like a tiara? Gold or silver?
I want the dress.
You want the dress? This is the process that we went through. And then you have to market it. And I think some of the really new popular venues are at Amazon.com, and we haven't approached that yet. We're just going to schools and libraries at the moment. But we need to pursue that in the future and for the marketing purpose. Jody has written a second book about a pirate. I have not illustrated it yet. We're still busy with this. But as far as the book building, most of this was done on just a home computer, not a Mac, which is really good for graphics, but we didn't use a Mac. I think it was a Hewlett Packard, but home computer, and presented what we got off the computer to the printer. And they tweaked it just a little bit, and it was ready to go. So it was a 4-year process to get to this point, though.
The one thing that we found was very helpful was going to lectures, such even children's hours, meeting all the other writers. There's 2 on that list that you guys have got coming up that we met. They were really helpful. They'd come over to the house. They'd sit with us. Other writers, it's not very competitive. It's very encouraging. Also, with a big publishing company, what happens is they like for illustrators and writers to submit their work in separately. And that was frustrating for us because we had written this as a team. So the other thing is if you're not going to go the self-publishing route and you are going to go for the big boys, in New York and the Simon & Schusters, everybody like that, you're going to have to brace yourself for rejection and have a very thick skin because you'll be rejected over and over and over. And then finally one day you might open.
Excuse me, they use their own illustrators.
And they use their own illustrators. So a lot of our rejections came as we do not accept teams. And they encouraged Mom to submit individually, but she was like, this is not in my life, I don't want to be an illustrator for somebody else. We were just doing this together. And they were telling her which route she should go because they liked her work, but they wanted her to put it in a portfolio and start submitting individually. And we had to decide, do we break apart? And we didn't really want to do that. And that was a problem a lot of other writers we found. If they had already paired up, a lot of times big publishing houses won't take that. They, for whatever reason, have their in-house illustrators, and they will take what they think is your writing and they will match it with their own illustrator. So they do always try to encourage you to submit. But I just thought together, as much as I like the story and as much as I love my mother's illustrations, I just thought together it was such a package that I didn't want to separate. So we had to decide, are we going to stand our ground and say, no, we're not going to, and accept the fact that we might not ever get published, or are we going to break apart? But we decided to, after talking with so many others, to go the self route, which has its ups and downs. You invest, that's a down, but you also have more control over what you want in your book. You have total control, actually. So you can decide the drawings, you can decide what you're willing to cut, what you're not willing to cut. Publishers, big publishing have their own advertisers and their own publicity. So of course, when you're self-publishing, you have to do everything on your own, or you can hire a publicist if you've got that kind of money, and start your own little business that way. So there's different routes you can go.